Yo, it's your boy Wes the Tech here to bring you another one of my personal favorite tech tips to help you as an artist grow in your craft. Now today we're going to go over music distributors that accept AI generated music, all right? So if you're a recording artist who wants to know what music distribution companies out there that actually accept AI generated music, then this is the perfect video for you, because in this video, I'm gonna go over all the distribution companies that actually accept fully generated AI music, but I also will go over some guidelines that I feel like you guys need to know before you decide to submit your AI generated music, all right? Now, before I continue, I definitely want to let you guys know about my free music business checklist tool that's available to download off of my website right now. This is for any one of you guys who's looking into starting your own music business, but don't quite know where to start. With this free tool, you'll actually be able to identify 3 things that you could do right away to start your own music business. So if you want to grab this free tool today, you can click on the link above, and I will also leave the link in the descriptions below. Now, when it comes to AI generated music, guys, you guys have to understand that this is currently a big thing when it comes to the music industry, and this isn't going away anytime soon, all right? Whether it's fully generated AI music or AI tools that are being used to create AI music, or tools that are used to create AI cover art, or whatever the case may be, AI is here to stay when it comes to being a tool to help artists grow in their music in any other form, right? But most music distribution companies, as well as digital service providers, aka Spotify, Apple Music, so on and so forth, they all want to protect the integrity of music in general. Obviously, when you're talking about the arts, you always want to protect the human elements of it, because that is what art is all about, right? We don't have robots actually creating, the Mona Lisa and so on and so forth. We will someday, but when it comes to art, that is a human expression. So all of these different companies are finding ways to allow AI usage, but also restrict it in a certain way to keep art and music human. You get what I'm saying? So before I go into the distribution companies that actually allow AI usage, I want to first go over a couple of guidelines that you guys need to know before you even think about submitting your AI generated music, all right? So the first thing that we need to talk about is copywriting, all right? Because you guys must know that a fully generated AI song, a song that is a AI generated song that is fully AI generated, meaning you didn't do anything to it. You just told the AI what type of song you made, and the AI pumped it out. That is a fully generated AI song. That song that's fully generated is not protected by copyright laws, all right? I'm going to say that again. Fully generated AI music is not protected by copyright protection. It is actually considered public domain when you're using a fully generated AI song, right? That means that you can't protect it. It's not yours. You don't own it. Another artist can literally take the exact same song and distribute the music as well and use it for their own advantage. You can't fight it in court or anything like that, because you don't own a fully generated AI song. It's not protected by copyright laws. That's very, very important, because that also means if you have no copyright, you also can't get publishing royalties, meaning that you can't get any songwriting royalties that you would get from your performing rights organization. All right, that's the PRO. That's the people who actually pay out royalties to you as a songwriter. But they can only do that with copyrighted music, right? So if you can't copyright a fully AI generated song, then you obviously can't collect those royalties on that. That's a very important piece of information for those of you who are expecting to make an income out of your AI generated music. There are certain royalties that you just simply will not get because it cannot be copywritten, all right? So that's very, very important, and I just wanted to make sure I went over that. Now, The second thing that you guys need to be aware of when you're dealing with AI generated music is that you need to make sure there is no impersonations being done. All right. This is actually strictly prohibited, not by the distributors, but is strictly prohibited by the streaming platforms themselves. That means Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, all of the places that your distributors actually distribute the music to, they do not accept music that is impersonating other artists, especially AI generated music that is doing so. For example, if you create an AI song using Kendrick Lamar's voice, that is prohibited. If you release it and they catch it, you can get banned for that. If you use their name, you can get banned for that. If you use their likeness in any way to release for your song, you could get in trouble for that. That is strictly prohibited, right? Now, it makes sense because most people who are trying to do that, they're basically trying to get an income using another artist's likeness anyway. I don't know if you guys remember the whole Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef. Drake released a song using Tupac's and Snoop Dogg's voice, right? That is strictly prohibited. Now, granted, he just released that on YouTube. It wasn't on any streaming platforms or anything like that. But let's just say that he decided to release that on his Spotify, Apple Music and stuff. That would have got flagged and it would have got removed immediately because that is prohibited by law. All right. That is something that is important to let you guys know, because even though these distribution companies will allow you to submit and distribute an AI generated song, if it is impersonating another artist, it is going to be rejected. And you can absolutely be banned because of it as well. So you got to be careful with that as well. Whatever you're making, don't impersonate any other artist while you're making it, because that's a big red flag when it comes to submitting AI generated music. All right. Now we're going to go into the different companies that will actually allow you to submit AI generated music, right? So these are the companies that accepts AI generated music with copyright restrictions, obviously, like I mentioned before, because you cannot copyright a fully generated AI song, right? These companies, as you can see, is most of them. You got DistroKid, you got United, you got Symphonic, you got Tulos, you got Landard, and you got Ditto. All right. Now, of course, there are more out there, but I'm just highlighting, for the sake of time of this video, I'm just highlighting the more popular distribution companies out there. This is a pretty big list. This is a lot of the major ones, a lot of the big ones, right? Now, of course, like I said, with that copyright restriction, if it's fully AI generated, you're going to have that copyright restriction. That doesn't mean that you can't submit it. You can submit it and they will release it, but you won't get your full royalties from it. Now, I want to take a pause to also mention that this does not mean that if you're using AI to help you create the music, that it is the same thing, right? As a matter of fact, if you're using AI to help you create the song, you can still copyright that song. For example, if you're using AI to help you create the lyrics, or maybe you're using AI to help you create samples in the beat, or so on and so forth, right? If the majority of the work was used or was created from a human, even with AI assistance, right, then you're okay, right? You can get that copy written. I just want to make sure that I'm very clear on that. We're just talking about fully generated AI music. That music is a big no-no. You can never get that copy written. But if you're using AI as a tool, right, just like you're using an instrument as a tool or whatever as a tool to actually create your music or figure out your lyrics and so on and so forth, that is okay. That is safe, right? They don't mind you using AI as a tool. What they do mind is you just telling AI, make the song, and the AI makes the song, and you didn't really do anything besides tell it what to make. You get what I'm saying? That is the no-no, right? But I'm going to show you these again. These are the companies that will allow you to submit AI generated music right? They will distribute it, right? You'll just have those copyright restrictions like I mentioned before, all right? Now, a lot of these companies also reserve a right to reject or approve an AI generated song as well. So even though they accept it, some of them still reserve that right. You would have to check it out within the terms and conditions yourself to see which ones that apply to that. I believe Lander is one of them that, reserves the right to accept or reject it based off of what they feel or how much AI you use to create that particular song. All right. Now, the honorable mention that I want to talk about is a music distribution company that allows the usage of it, but they will not allow fully generated AI. And that is TuneCore. TuneCore, again, allows AI usage, but not fully generated AI music, right? Now, will this list get bigger? Probably. Will some of the ones that allow it now end up on this list? More than likely, yes, I think so. It's just over time, we're just gonna have to see how this goes. But currently speaking, TuneCore is the only distributor right now that accepts the usage, but will not accept fully generated. All right. Now we have to talk about the companies that don't accept AI usage at all, not even as a tool, right? Currently speaking, there's only one distributor that does that, and that's CDBA. CDBA doesn't allow AI usage whatsoever. Not at all, nothing, right? So if you're distributing your AI music to CDBA, it will get rejected. They're not accepting at all. Even if you're using it as a tool, they will not accept it. Will this list grow? Probably. It probably will grow as well, right? Again, we're still early in the AI usage phase when it comes to music. We're still early with all of this. So all of this is subject to change, right? 6 months from now, these lists that I'm giving you may change, right? Heck, by tomorrow, these lists may change because this is still fluid. This is still new. This is still being worked out and figured out. There are still laws that are trying to be passed, laws that are still being created when it comes to AI in general. So there's definitely going to be more changes to come, but that doesn't mean that we can't look at it right now and say, okay, these are the ones that are safe. These are the ones don't even mess with. And this is a big no-no. All right. And that's why I decided to make this video. So to show you those again, these are the ones that allow you to submit fully generated AI music with copyright restrictions. TuneCore is the one that accepts the usage, but doesn't accept fully generated. And CDBA doesn't accept AI usage at all. All right. Again, all of these are subject to change. Don't be surprised if there'll be more on either list. And I know that there's some distributors that I didn't mention. If you want to look into those yourself, you can always go check it out in their terms and conditions. There's going to be something in there that is going to refer to it because, like I said, this is a very new thing. So you will start seeing it in the terms and conditions of all the different distributors out there. All right. So I just wanted to make sure I brought this to your attention. I wanted to make sure that you're using the right distributor if you are releasing AI generated music. And I want to make sure that you understand how the copyright laws work with AI generated music, right? Because when you're dealing with copyrights, you're also dealing with royalties, and we as artists care about royalties because that's how we get paid as musicians. All right. But that's pretty much it, guys. That's what this video was about. Really just highlighting the companies that allow you to accept it. Thankfully, we have a pretty big list for those of you who want to continue to release AI generated music, or those of you who are considering it, right? You have a pretty big list, but you have to keep everything that was discussed in mind. All right. Now, before I let you guys go, I definitely want to let you guys know about my book here, The 13 Steps to Jumpstart Your Music Business. This is for any one of you guys who's looking into starting your own music business, right? And simply is just tired of your 9-to-5 job. You want to know exactly how to start a music business so that you can ultimately leave your job and do music full time. This is the book that you need to get. This is the same 13 steps that I took to put myself in a position to leave my 9-to-5 job so that I could do music full time. I've been doing music full time for over 5 years now, almost a decade now, as a matter of fact, right? And I'm loving every second of it. But the big piece and the big reason I was able to do that was following these steps right here. So if you want to know how to do that, make sure you grab this book. I have it in ebook form, which you can start reading today, right? You can download it and start reading it today. And I also have paperback form for those of you who like physical copies, all right? This will all be in the descriptions below if you want to grab that. Again, it's the 13 steps to jumpstart your music business, all right? But that's pretty much it, guys. That's what this video was about. Of course, if you have any questions or concerns, please leave comments in the comment sections below. If you feel like there's a music distribution company that I didn't mention on the list and you know about their AI terms, usage terms, go ahead and throw it in the comments for other people who may be looking for that as well. Let's all help each other out. Let's all learn together, all right? But that's pretty much it. Thank you, guys. See you guys next week. Peace.
I'm feeling like David. Can't nobody slay me. I feel like Moses. Big Moses. Can't nobody hold me. I'm feeling like Daniel. Big Daddy. Can't nobody face me.